Vote now for my Gundam submission on LEGO ideas, and it can be made into a real LEGO set. Link in the description.
What is up, LEGO fans? I'm James May, but obviously not that James May, LEGO designer turned AFOL, and this is Tubeside, the show where we take a sneak peek underneath the brick, so to say, see how LEGO sets are made. Today we'll be looking at my first ever LEGO set that I designed when I joined the LEGO group. Oh wait, I don't actually have it on me. I got it. The 4469 Tuk-Tuk. Shall we have a look then? Nah, just kidding, I'm still here. Okay everyone, cast your mind back all the way to the cold dark depths of January 2020. This is when I arrived in Billund Airport to start my career in the wonderful world of LEGO design. Feels like a lifetime ago now. The team I started on was the Creator 3-in-1 team, which I felt super stoked to join, because to me that was the most pure LEGO theme, where it's all about the building, and I guess rebuilding too. My first task to warm up my bricklaying thumbs was to make some small concept models to go in the fish tank model. But my second task, which was the first model that I would head the design on, was to make the Tuk-Tuk, or auto rickshaw. This is to go with the other creative vehicles, like the London bus, and at the same time the other new guy would be working on the yellow taxi. Normally with LEGO models, you're given an allowance for colour changes, so you can't go crazy changing every brick into every colour. But for this model, they said everything had to be made with existing parts, so I had to be careful with the LEGO elements that I picked. So, tasked with my first model, with zero experience, zero knowledge of tuk-tuks, and zero colour changes allowed, I set about designing my first ever LEGO model. At least this one wasn't a 3-in-1. Now, despite living in Southeast Asia as a kid, I never actually ridden in a tuk-tuk before. So, first thing to do is to go out to Asia and try one out. Nah, we didn't have the budget for that. I just looked it up on Google. I narrowed it down to either a Thai taxi colour scheme or an Indian one. And I ultimately went with the Indian colours because there's a bigger population there, so more people could relate to the green colour scheme. From my research, I somehow came across a user manual for a rickshaw saying that by law they have to have a fire extinguisher on board. So that's where that detail on the back came from, which I thought added a wee bit of character to the model. I was fascinated by the overly decorated rickshaws with the flowers and the curtains and so much colour. I knew I had to get some of that in there. I experimented with different levels of how extra we could go until finding a balance. I even managed to get some of the blue back end there for the Thai LEGO fans. The red and orange studs for flowers were a fun touch, and asking the Ninjago team to be allowed to use the tassels gives the Tuk-Tuk some fun dynamism when it rolls by. While looking into Indian culture, I saw a lot of pictures of lunchbox deliveries, which is normally done by bicycle, but I put a little roof rack with some lunchboxes on top, so you can have a little play passion of dropping off lunches around your LEGO town. Now, this model wasn't designed to be minifigure scale, I was just focusing on what was the best scale to get all the details that I wanted in, but it ended up being surprisingly close, so you can put figures in there and just pretend it's a special oversized tuk-tuk. The black roof is there because of the colour limitations I mentioned earlier. There's no good matching colours of that element existing at the time, so black was a nice neutral colour that gave a bit of edge to it. In some of my other episodes, I'll talk about my love affair with the colour scheme of bright primary colours and black. The most challenging part of the design was making sure that it was stable when you play with it. If a kid rolls it over the floor, they would push down on it, so it had to withstand that force. An early version of the frame was made of bars and clips, but that would just buckle when you tried to play with the model, so we decided to go for a sturdy brick-built frame, while trying to keep it as thin as possible. When designing a LEGO set, I would say that aesthetics are super important, but I would say what's more important is that it's a fun toy to play with, so I always try and prioritise that. For a first model, I was so happy with how it turned out. Despite my inexperience and the colour limitations, I got the shaping pretty good. I had some fun snot techniques, that's studs not on top, without it being too complicated. I was pretty happy with the technique of how I got the window at that angle. It was a cool new way of using those window elements that I haven't seen before, so I hope it gets people looking outside the box when making their own models. Although I have seen some people post pictures of it online where they put the window in the frame properly, if that makes sense. It hurts to see every time. Just as an extra, look up Northern Brickworks' old competition entries for designing their own tuk-tuk. It was amazing seeing all the super creative ideas. I'll leave a link below. So, thank you for joining me on this trip down memory lane. This model has a special place in my heart for being my first. And I still remember going to the LEGO store for the first time and seeing it on the shelf. It was so rewarding to see something that I designed there for everyone to buy. So let me know down in the comments if you have any other questions about the Tuk-Tuk and which LEGO set from my brickography you want me to talk about next. I'll leave a link to my Bricklist down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. See ya! Okay, I got it. Okay, bye!